Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're watching me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passionate Network. I'm also the host of Talk That Talk. Remember, you can get any of our merchandise right here on this page. All you got to do is just click on whatever you want, right? And then you can just go ahead and fill up your bag with as much as you want. But then once you get down to the end and you want to make that final purchase, remember you can get 30% off that final purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Remember, again, you can type in HBCU band and get 30% off your final purchase. Also, you are more than welcome to donate to the channel. We always will accept any donations. That is the best way to support the channel. This is, I'm gonna say this in two ways, right? So this is not new news, but I'm just now tackling it because I told you all before I was not going to get back on this camera without that hair being done. But, we seem to have swept under this a little bit. A lot is going on between homecomings, Jackson State and Alabama A&M, which was a very good 0 and 5th, by the way. Very good. Very good. Quick sidebar, Alabama A&M, shout out to the staff over there at Alabama A&M, is really doing some good work over there. I'm just going to say it. Really doing some good work. Longest 0 that I've seen in a minute or ever. And I haven't fully watched the 5th, but I'm pretty sure if the 5th was as good as the 0, probably the best battle we've had, in my opinion, thus far. But that's neither here nor there. I know I'm gonna get all kind of comments in the comment section. Go ahead, let them off. Say what you want to say. Probably one of the best 0s and 5th that we've had thus far. So, and I haven't even fully seen the 5th yet. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on to this, man. So, a lot going on in Tennessee State. I wanted to go ahead and read through this. I've read through it, but I actually want to read through it as a family here on the Passionate Network, man. We're going to read it as a family. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. It says, Dear Tennessee State, I'm about to say University Community. Oh, that's actually what it says. Dear Tennessee State University Community, we hope this message finds you well. I want to take a moment to address the disappointment expressed by many of our alumni and students regarding the aristocrat of bands not traveling to perform at the upcoming Lindenwood University and Howard University games. We understand how much these performances mean to our community, and we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this decision may have caused to those planning to attend these games with the hope of seeing our beloved band in action during halftime. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, it has been determined that it is not financially prudent for the band to travel to Washington, D.C. or St. Charles, Missouri. As you know, Tennessee State is Howard's homecoming opponent. HU has specific restrictions for our band. AOB can only perform after the game. Meanwhile, the cost of travel alone is more than $150,000, which poses a significant challenge given our financial landscape. Let's pause right there. Let's take this time to really break down a couple of things. First of all, I don't ever remember being at Howard when I was an undergrad for their homecoming. So let me first say that when I was in the Legion, but I will tell you this, and we probably were, I just don't remember, but I will tell you this. I mean, Howard Stadium isn't necessarily conducive for big bands or bigger bands. I remember how we would squeeze in their visiting band section like sardines. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna put out there. As far as them performing after the game, or doing their halftime show after the game, personally for me, I don't really see a problem with it. And I only say that to say that I mean, we would do a 5th anyway. So if we would do a 5th, then just do the halftime show, and then both y'all block up on the field or whatever. And if y'all want to do the 5th, go like that in the 5th. I mean, that's there's possibility for that. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I don't really think that the issue itself is them performing after the game. That's just my opinion. Because if you stay for a 5th, you would do that anyway. But the thing that stands out to me, right? Meanwhile, the cost of travel alone is more than $150,000. What? It costs that much money to move a band? What? Are we surprised at that? Who's surprised at this number that it cost $150,000 to move a band? Who's surprised? Who's surprised? I'll wait. Again, and I don't want to knock anybody. I'm not knocking anybody, but I'm going to continuously do my best to try to give as much information as I possibly can and just give you my thoughts. This is my problem with us doing Battle of the Bands. A multitude of Battle of the Bands, right? Because the person who throws the event makes lots of money off of it. I ain't gonna say what I want to say. No personal shots. But the person who throws the events makes a lot of money off of it. And obviously, bands come in and all that kind of stuff. And if you have sponsorship, that covers a lot of the cost. When they come home, when they leave and they go home and it's over, they pocket bread and then chunk the band $20,000. With $150,000 to move a band from one place to another, what is that $20,000 going to really do in that? That's still, I'm just using this as an example. That's still $130,000 that you would still need. So this is, in my opinion, an eye opener. This should be an eye opener, right? For those who were unaware, those who were not informed, and for the most part, those who think they know. It costs lots to move a band program. And you got to remember, from what I can tell, this looks like $150,000 each. Let me read that again. Make sure, because I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Meanwhile, the cost of travel alone is more than $150,000. More than $150,000. So you mean to tell me that's $150,000 both ways? That means you mean to tell me that if they travel to Howard and if they travel to Lindenwood, that's $300,000 plus. Because this only says travel. It's not talking about food. This is not talking about lodging, unless I'm reading this wrong. Because when I think travel, I'm thinking price of car or in this case, buses, and whatever the cost for those particular drivers. Right? Because if you don't understand how the drivers work, you have to pay certain drivers, so on and so forth, and they got to switch out and all that. There's a lot of stuff in that. But that's just travel. That's the way I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. $150,000. You're talking about 2 games, $300,000 plus dollars, and we're not even talking about food. We're not talking about lodging. It costs money to move bands. So when we start chunking out $30,000 or $20,000 and say, we doing something for the bands while they performing their butts off for you and your event, I want you to go back and we're going to look at this again. Right? Let's move forward, though. It says, recently, the university implemented a financial action plan to address structural budget deficits that have affected the institution for years. The university has had to make cost reduction decisions across the board in every area of operations, including travel. This also includes the band's travel to Lindenwood and maybe others, depending on budget demands and mission-critical program needs. We recognize the importance of school spirit and the role of extracurricular activities in enriching the student experience. However, our priority remains focused on sustaining enrollment for students who are financially eligible and may require our assistance. So I actually like the fact that you all want to support those kids who are financially eligible and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's a bad thing at all, right? As a university, you probably should be doing that. The flip side of that is where the money at? Like between endowments, um, student enrollment, tuition. Obviously, there's going to be a percentage of kids that, even though they're enrolled and they get in tuition and so on and so forth, that there's a percentage of kids who are going to be on financial aid or whatever, or you may just not get your money. So there's going to be some, like, all of these different things do come into play. I get all of those particular things, but where the money at though? Like, what is the money being spent on that for years? This is what they said. The university implemented a financial action plan to address structural budget deficits that have affected the institution for years. Where has the money been going for years? How much are some people getting paid? I'm sorry. I'm not one of them kind of people who like to be in people's pockets. I'm going to tell you how much I don't like being in people's pockets. I like to watch the NBA. I don't really care about hearing about somebody else's, contract. Who cares? Like, who cares? They make a substantially amount more money than me. I don't care about these people contracts. I just want to see them play, right? But in this particular this situation, I'm trying to figure out where the money going. How much you getting paid? Is some pockets being greased behind closed doors that should not be being greased, but because y'all got some undercover operation going on, and y'all pulling money from other places and all that kind of stuff to be able to supply your high lifestyle or something that these universities are now running out of money? Where the money at? And this ain't even a bad thing right now. For me, just where the money at? Now, because of the fact now the band suffers, I don't know anything about Lindenwood, but I mean, this is a performance opportunity that they missed. Even if they don't go to Howard's homecoming, they still miss a performance opportunity. The university is committed to facing these financial issues head on and needs your ongoing and unwavering support as we move forward. Together, let us stand united to do more, to be more as we work to sustain a future-ready TSU. I mean, you put it out there. I just think that right now, it's really interesting to me, before we even get into the band part of it, it's really interesting to me the financial situations that schools are in. And I don't necessarily want to level it to a HBCU thing, because to be quite honest, it could be predominantly white institutions out there that are going through financial struggles too. They just don't let it out as much. Who knows? What I do know is I find it very interesting in the fact that these universities are losing money, or don't have money, or misplacing money, or money is going into the wrong pockets or the wrong hands, or people are taking money from wrong places. To me, and again, somebody maybe can explain it to me a different way or a better way, but for me, it just doesn't make any sense. On the back end of that, when we start talking about band, the thing that really disturbs me from the band perspective is the fact that, yes, this to me, this is the way I see it, and I could be absolutely wrong. From an HBCU standpoint, our bands are a dynamic piece of the HBCU university experience. When our bands are not able to travel and get the exposure that they need, specifically in a social media world right now, where exposure is the thing that gets eyes on you, we're losing the opportunities for that exposure because of the financial deficits or the financial situations that are going on in our HBCUs. This is one of the reasons why I say it's really interesting when we talk about Tennessee State, the same way that sometimes I say the same thing about my alma mater. I think that Norfolk State and programs like Tennessee State are good programs, but they'll come out and they'll do something really great. They'll do something fantastic. They'll have a great performance, and then we don't ever hear from them again. And a lot of reasons is because there's a financial problem or a financial issue within the university that keeps those programs from being able to travel and go to different places and the necessary places that they need to go. So what do we do about that? I think that it's amazing that Jackson is able to do the things that they're doing. And I think that I don't know how they're getting their money, and hey, I don't want to know how. I just know that they are able to do that, and kudos to them, and great job for them. But there are so many other universities, HBCU specifically, but there are so many other universities that don't have that opportunity, and I personally just want to know why. I know, and being in the room, I know there's a difference between a travel year and a non-travel year. But even in some of these travel years, a lot of bands still ain't going nowhere because they ain't got no money. So where the money? And then lastly, it costs. It costs to move a band program. So all of you people who are not informed, who don't understand, who have no clue, who have never been in the seat, who have never seen it, who have never had a budget conversation, who have never had somebody call you behind closed doors and say, yo, this is what the situation is. Stop talking. Stop handing people $20,000 and saying this is for your band after after they done came and made you millions. It costs to move bands. It costs. And honestly, I want to see more support for band programs, specifically at HBCUs, but for all band programs. I want to see more financial support and a better understanding of what it takes in order to be able to run band programs. Stop thinking that it's okay just to throw them out there to shucking jobs just because you want them to. Support them the way they need to be supported. That's my thoughts. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe I'm off. Like I said, I'm open to the possibility that I'm absolutely wrong, and that's okay if that's the truth. But y'all tell me what you guys think inside of the comment section, man. Do you all think this is crazy? Do you all think that they should have found a way for Tennessee State to get to these performances? Do you think that response, as far as Howard having them play at the end of the game, was a scapegoat for the fact that they don't have any money? I just want to hear your thoughts. Read your thoughts in the comment section, man. Go ahead and leave all the comments that you want, man. And trust me, I read every single one of them. I may even respond to them. So just go ahead and put all your thoughts in the comment section. Also, remember that you can get 30% off your final purchase from our store. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Again, you can get 30% off your final purchase from our store. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Remember, you are more than welcome to donate to the channel. That is the best way to support us. Also, make sure that you go ahead and give us a like for the YouTube algorithm. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you next time. Peace.